to hand the mic over to Debbie Chapman, who's in charge of our staging and also in charge of RAD. She's the one that does all of our trophy sponsors, so if your family and business like to get your name out there, she does all the trophies too at our track. And we are looking for some trophy sponsors for some of our divisions. If your family or business like to sponsor a trophy, let us know. Also, RAD doing a lot of great things. They're taking a lot of our cars to schools and teaching kids about driving rather than drugs, and a good influence she's been. So she's got a few words she wants to say.
Hi everybody, thank you for coming. Since our last race, we've lost 3 members of our racing family, and these guys are out here tonight to honor them. And I'd like to just tell you a little bit about a couple of them. One of the people that we lost is Carolyn Crow. Carolyn and her family have been out here in part of Barona Speedway for about 20 years. Carolyn was a wonderful wife, a mom. Her son races still, and she was a great friend to everyone who knew her. She was a lot of fun to be around and full of life. She was the first person to come to somebody's rescue if something happened to them, and she'd also be the first person to tell them that they were stupid for doing something dumb. That's just the way that she was. She was very outspoken. She said what she thought, and we loved her for it. Carolyn didn't want us to mourn her passing. She wanted us to celebrate it, and she wanted us to have a party. So we hope that everybody that knew Carolyn can remember her for the good times that she gave all of us, and know that there were a lot of them. We miss Carolyn a lot. The second person that I'd like to talk about is Ron Gelia. Ron was one of our techs for 6 years, and he teched all the cars that came through the track to make sure that they were all legal, and that it was to keep Barona a fair and safe place to race. He put up with some not so happy drivers and not so happy crew people from time to time, but he always managed to do it with a smile on his face. Ron had 2 families. He had the Barona Speedway family, which we were all proud to be a part of, and he had another family at the Alano Club that he was proud to be a part of for the last 9 years. Ron had 9 years clean and sober, and he was very proud of that. Some of his family from there is here tonight to show their respects to him. Right up until the very end, Ron lived his life with dignity, humility, and he's irreplaceable. There's nothing that we can say to express how much we're going to miss him here.
I just want to add one thing real quick about Ron. Ron never missed a race the whole time he was here, except for our first one after he was in the hospital. He was going to come here for his second race. The second race we had, that was a race we got rained out, and he passed away before he could be here before the third race.
Good evening, race fans. Lost another racer this week, Brian Nelson. Passed away on Monday night. He was a close friend of mine. He had a lot of close friends in the racing community, especially in the pony division at Cajon Speedway and here. He even had a few races here, but he didn't cut it, so we had to go. He was always at my house, and we were practically best friends. If he wasn't at my house, he was at Danny Gay's house, working on Danny's car or his daughter's cars. Brian was a very intelligent person, but he always liked to argue, and even when he was right, I always argued back just to, give him a hard time about it. It's kind of hard on me because he was a close friend, and I know he's here tonight. He's always at a racetrack or working on a race car. So if you guys can raise your drinks, one more toast for Brian Nelson. We'll see you soon, bud. Thank you.
And now at this time, we're going to have our cars go around, do one parade lap in the memory of all of our lost family members, and then we're going to release the balloons on the second lap. So ladies and gentlemen, if you please rise and stand with us as the cars go around.